Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Dinkum is out and it is super fun, but there's also a lot to it. And starting out, you will be faced with some early game decisions. So Nintentalk and I have come up with 5 tips and tricks for beginners that we think are the most helpful when you are just starting out the game. If you would like to see more Dinkum content, let us know in the comment section below. Pat, what is your first tip?
All right, so my first tip is actually the first thing you'll do in the game, and that is where to place your campsite and actually like your whole town in this game. So Fletch, the older lady, will give you the base camp tent, and at the beginning of the game, she kind of, you're in this area where the dock is. It's on the east side of the map, and that's pretty much where the game wants you to put your map, but you do have decisions. And for me, I actually went to the western coast of the island because it seemed a lot more plentiful in terms of like there was an ocean there, there was a river there, there was an ore deposit area there, and it just kind of seemed like, I don't know, there was like a lot of flat land. You can terraform land later in the game, but I would just kind of like look at your surroundings and feel like, okay, do I have an area to farm? Do I have an area to hunt? I don't know about you, BWICK. Like, what did you decide when you first started?
I did end up going far, far west. I agree. It kind of made it feel like you wanted to be close to that dock, but I traveled out a bit and kind of scoped out the area to see where there would be the most resources because I knew that we would be gathering and needing to gather a lot of stuff. So I want to make sure that there was everything that I thought we were going to need pretty close.
Yeah, like the first area, you can definitely find a lot of dropped logs and stuff. Like, it's very beginner friendly, but I feel like in a game like this, where it's like long term, you gotta look into the future. And we're gonna get into this in a little bit, but the ore deposits are so clutch. You might be like near some, some crazier enemies that might, attack you or something, but I think it's worth taking a chance earlier in the game. So it's super important.
Yeah, I agree. The second tip is what licenses to get first. So in Dinkum, you can earn currency by doing certain achievements in the game and completing daily tasks. You'll use this currency to unlock licenses, which allow you to use the tools in the game. So the 2 licenses I think you should get first are the mining, which unlocks the pickaxe, and that'll allow you to get to be able to farm and gather ores like copper ore, which is for advanced weapons and tools, and tin ore, which is kind of scarce. I feel like it's been a little bit difficult to find that. So the mining definitely helps you get those resources and be able to kind of farm those up, stock up on those, because you're going to need a lot of them. And then the second license I think you should get first is the hunting, which will unlock spears and other weapons like bats. The hunting is necessary because you can get meat from all the animals that are running around, and the meat will help you with your stamina, which you need to keep up, and your health, which can run pretty low if you end up farming a lot of ore or something like that. You do run low on stamina pretty fast the more you farm those things.
Yeah, I think those are 2 great ones. I mean, I just want everyone to know, like, you'll earn enough currency by doing in-game achievements and stuff, where, you'll be able to earn all of the licenses pretty quickly, like within a few hours. But I feel like there are some early game ones that you probably, should avoid, at least early game. I'm talking like farming is probably one that you're going to want to get right away, but could easily be skipped early game. Also, this is kind of a, I don't know if it's a hot take or anything, but like fishing could probably be avoided earlier in the game because, like you said, you can hunt and stuff like that. So for me, another one that you didn't mention was the wood cutting one, which unlocks the axe. I thought that one was really key. But you can go back to that first area and collect some of those dropped logs. So it's not like super urgent, but I feel like the 2 that you mentioned were pretty good. All right, so our number 3 tip actually kind of goes with number 2, and I just wanted to emphasize this more, and that is hunting and cooking food. I really do think that hunting should be one of the first licenses you get. You do get the spear and other weapons, but I really want to emphasize, like, you are going to need to, unfortunately, like, kill animals, get the meat, cook it, and really get a lot of that cooked meat, and to really use like your whole day as much as you can to collect resources and sell those resources so that, you can kind of stock up on things in this game. Dinkum is all about crafting and item, gathering and stuff like that. So if you can stay out in the field longer, that's going to help you long term. So make sure you get that hunting license and make sure to cook food. You can also cook like apples and stuff. And if you're just starting off, basically you make a fire, you throw the meat on the fire. It's super easy, but that's one that I definitely wanted to emphasize.
Yeah, I agree. You can pretty much cook anything that you can eat, you can pretty much throw on the fire and cook. And that actually helps increase the stamina and health points that it gives you. So for example, eating a raw apple does not give you as much health and stamina as a cooked apple would. So definitely important to keep cooking the food. The fourth tip is money. Now, there are a lot of ways you can make money pretty quick. The first one is shells. You can pick up a lot of seashells on the beaches. They're not going to make you a ton of money really fast, but they are really easy to just keep picking up while you're running around the map just looking for other items and whatever else you're doing. Another one is butterflies. Now, I found butterflies to make me a lot of money. I had almost a whole pocket full of butterflies and dragonflies. Basically any bugs. Those sold for a lot for me.
Those are good.
Yeah. And the one that I have found to be the most helpful so far is cooked meat, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is another reason why I think the hunting license was super important, just to go back to that, is because the more meat you can get. I set up 6 campfires for myself and started cooking meat just like crazy and ended up making, 80,000 dink really fast just from cooked meat alone. It does sell for more. I have seen that you get 50% increase on what you're selling if it is cooked. So there is a massive benefit to be cooking the food.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's news to me. Yeah, I think early game, you're going to want to just pick up anything you can. I mean, your pockets are limited, but, pick up those butterflies, pick up those shells and things like that. It is worth noting, if you're just starting out this game, John's shop, which is, the general store in the game, is only open till 4 p.m. So I would just maybe make a big sale before 4 p.m. and then use the rest of the day to collect more resources. I don't really have much to add on like what other things to sell, but I will say I would probably avoid selling things like ore and like some of the things that you find in the map in the barrels, because you will need that for other quests. So I would just sell, again, like the cooked food, especially the butterflies, and you should be fine for early game, but just watch what you're selling, because some of the things end up being harder to find. Okay, and our last tip, and honestly, I gotta say, this is probably the best part of this game so far, is use multiplayer to your advantage. Multiplayer definitely increases productivity in this game. If you have a friend, or even if you start a public match, like BWICK and I started a public match with complete strangers, and they were actually helping us out, giving us items, helping us cook. We were going on little hunting, missions and stuff. But multiplayer can definitely change things. And if you have a buddy that you want to play this with long term, you can kind of make each person have a role. So for example, if I wanted to just be the hunter and BWICK could be the farmer, or someone else could be a fisherman or something, or another one could, raise, wildlife and stuff. What is your feelings on multiplayer?
I was loving it. I was loving so we jumped into a round and we said it's a public so anyone could join us, which I thought was pretty cool. You do feel like it could be a little risky, maybe getting some trolls in there maybe, but we lucked out and had really nice people join with us, and we're playing, like you said, giving us items we needed just to build up our camp. It almost kind of seems like you could have a co-op island with a friend. Maybe you can't play as much as I can, so you just jump on my island all the time and we just build up that fort together, or something like that. The multiplayer seems like it's going to be a lot of fun in the long run.
Yeah, I think it will be fun. A couple of things to note. The max amount of players that can play on an island multiplayer is 4, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I think, again, if you kind of divvy up the tasks like that's enough people, I feel. And also, the other 2 things I want to mention is, if you open a public island, people can actually come over and take your stuff. Like we were mentioning before, trolls could exist in this game. They could take your stuff. They could take anything. So just be mindful of that. Like, I don't know if you should put complete trust in strangers. And then the last thing is, and I think it's worth mentioning, there is a chat feature. If you hit enter, you can actually do emotes and type in chat. And we actually did test out the naughty words, and they actually do work. So I don't know if you have like a younger kid playing this or something, but you know, public matches, there are risks, but I think the pros outweigh them. I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like it's going to be a lot of fun, just productivity wise. At least for privately, like with a friend, is definitely going to be worth it. Public matches is going to be a little bit different. You know, having random people that can come in and potentially, you know, stir up some trouble in your campsite and in your little community. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds going forward for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And the cool thing is, like, if I go to like BWICK Island, for example, and I make like 40,000 dink or whatever, I could bring that back to my island. So it's not like I'm there for nothing. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. These 5 tips I feel like are the best 5 tips to at least start with. I know that this game kind of gradually advances, but these are pretty good.
Those are our 5 tips and tricks for the early game for beginners in Dinkum. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know if you have any tips or tricks of your own. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!
See you!